lovelies. To make this you will need tissue, newspaper, tape, PVA glue, scissors, a pen, a brush, a glass pot, acrylic paint in orange, black and green, white glitter, and a crafts knife. Let's get started by rolling the glass round a folded sheet of newspaper and taping it in place. Then turn your glass with the bottom facing you and cut the bottom paper in sections like this. Then fold the paper flat down and secure it in place with some tape. Next, get a sheet of newspaper and crunch the sides into the middle to form an oval piece. Then stick down some tape to secure it in place. Add more newspaper into the middle to make it more puffy looking. We need to make 5 of these to form the pumpkin shape. Stick the puffy ovals around the papered glass with lots of tape. Next, tape the bottom parts down using some more tape. Remove the glass and stick on some tape on the top of the ovals and paper inside to secure everything. Next, using your pen, draw on the eyes and nose on the pumpkin. Using the crafts knife and being careful with your fingers, cut the eyes and nose out. Try and cut a few layers of paper out at a time instead of trying to cut it out in a whole chunk. You should have something like this once you are done. Now we are going to cover the whole thing with glue and tissue. Make sure you remove the glass when doing this part. Once you have finished covering it with tissue and glue, put aside to dry. For the lid, I just did the same thing I did with the ovals, but instead made it into a circle. For the stalk, just roll a sheet of newspaper and then fold it in half and tape the top part. Then cut the excess off. Open the bottom part of the stalk and stick it onto the lid with some tape. Then cover it in glue and tissue and leave to dry. Once the pumpkin has dried, paint the entire thing in orange paint. Next, paint the eyes and nose in black paint. Paint the lid orange and the stalk black, then add a little bit of green to the stalk. This is optional. You can add a little shading in the creases of the pumpkin with a tiny bit of black paint mixed into the orange paint. Now I'm just going to paint on the mouth using some black paint. If you make a mistake with the black paint, just go over it with some orange paint, but make sure the black paint is dry when doing this. While the paint is still wet, sprinkle on some white glitter. I wouldn't recommend putting a real candle in this, but if you do decide to put an open flame candle in, make sure the glass is inside the pumpkin and that you don't put the lid on as it will catch on fire. To be safe, I would just use a battery powered LED tea light which works just as well as a candle. Also, you can put anything you want inside, doesn't necessarily have to be a candle. And that's it. You are done with your Halloween pumpkin holder. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you do decide to make this, I would love to see you on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye! Check out my previous videos on my lace nails, my origami bunny DIY, and my review on the Butter London polish. Please subscribe to be notified of new videos.